by Night, the channel that takes you to the beating heart of the Italian night. Together we will discover stories, trends and nuances that make the night unique, immersing ourselves in a journey through lights, music and deep reflections. It is much more than a simple Movida, it is a lifestyle, an experience to live and understand. How much alcohol consumption really affects our lives? Today we are going to tackle a very current and delicate topic, which involves many boys and girls in their evenings of leisure, the relationship between nightlife and alcohol. Social and on our well-being? Is it possible to really have fun without using it? And above all, what happens when behind every drink there is the need to mask insecurities and fears? Let's find out together. Here is an expanded and unified version of the content, designed to deeply engage the audience of the channel, La Movida by Night. This in-depth narrative offers more nuanced reflections, maintaining the focus on the topic of alcohol and social well-being, and actively invites viewers to participate in the conversation. Today we are going to tackle a very current and delicate topic, which involves many boys and girls during their evenings of leisure, the relationship between Movida and alcohol. How much does alcohol consumption really affect our social life and well-being? Is it possible to have real fun without using it? And above all, what happens when behind every drink hides the need to mask insecurities and fears? Let's find out together. In recent years, alcohol has become an increasingly common presence in young people's evenings out. In many cases, it represents a sort of social passport, a way to feel more at ease, to break down barriers and open up to others without too many inhibitions. Drinking together becomes almost a ritual of belonging to the group, a tradition that is passed down among friends to feel accepted and part of something bigger. But let's stop and think for a moment. How much of all this is authentic? In fact, alcohol, if on the one hand it seems to facilitate socialization, on the other it can reveal itself as a mask, a way to escape fears and insecurities that, without this ally, we would not find the courage to face. Each glass seems to break down personal barriers, but at the same time it builds invisible walls, creating a growing distance between the authentic self and the one we show to others. And so, what begins as a way to relax and enjoy the evening can become a habit, an escape to avoid having to deal with one's own vulnerabilities. In the long run, these evenings spent in the company of alcohol risk turning into a double-edged sword, a search for escape that can lead to isolation, and in some cases, even to a sense of emptiness and loneliness. Repeated drinking nights can have significant effects on mental well-being. Nightlife should be an opportunity for fun and growth. But for some it can become a danger when alcohol consumption becomes the automatic response to feel comfortable. In this way, instead of breaking down barriers, alcohol consumption risks building even stronger barriers, which divide young people between those who manage to manage alcohol as a simple occasional pleasure and those who, instead, make it a real anchor of stability. Over time, this behavior can lead to a sort of emotional dependence, where alcohol is the only tool to deal with one's social difficulties, to feel safe and to relax. In this way, instead of breaking down barriers, alcohol consumption risks building even stronger barriers, which divide young people between those who manage to manage alcohol as a simple occasional pleasure and those who, instead, make it a real anchor of stability. A worrying phenomenon associated with alcohol abuse is dissociation, a process by which one progressively loses contact with reality and one's emotional state. People who drink too much or too often may experience a sort of detachment from their real life, a refuge from the fatigue and pressure of everyday life, but at the cost of their very authenticity and identity. The true nature of Movida and the value of authentic connections. Movida is a space that can be extremely enriching and engaging if experienced with awareness and respect for oneself and others. Having fun and living unique experiences does not necessarily mean resorting to alcohol as a social facilitator. There are many ways to live the night in a healthy and satisfying way, ensuring that every evening leaves a positive and lasting mark. Movida, in fact, should be a moment to create authentic connections, to discover new horizons and to nourish well-being through meaningful experiences and relationships. Balance is key. Nightlife can be lived in a fun and healthy way without the need for excess, enjoying conversations, laughter and the atmosphere without always having to raise your elbow. Educating young people to live nightlife in a balanced way means promoting a healthier nightlife culture, where the value of people and connections is at the center, not the glass in your hand. If you also believe that Movida is much more than a sequence of drinks and you want to discover how to enjoy the night without compromising on your well-being, then you are in the right place. Subscribe to the channel and join us to not miss more authentic, conscious, and fun nightlife content. We share experiences, reflections, and ideas to live the Movida as a continuous discovery, without excesses, but with a lot of enthusiasm. And you, what do you think? What are the alternatives to alcohol that could make the Movida just as engaging and satisfying? Tell us your opinion in the comments. It could be the inspiration for someone looking for new ways to have fun. Your voice can make the difference. If you are curious to discover what lies behind the charm, contradictions, and explosive energy of the Movida, you are in the right place. Here we do not limit ourselves to describing the usual evenings. We explore the fun, the traditions, but also the most authentic and sometimes unexpected aspects that define the nightlife of young Italians.